I'm back for a special edition. It only happens once a year. The best of and worst of the previous year, in this case 2017. Hello, Mother! Aren't you supposed to be on a phone interview? Maybe I got my days mixed up. I'm late. I mean, what happens to me in the Larry brain? I get great ideas like seconds before I'm supposed to go on camera. I become obsessed with them, and then I run around the house looking for stuff, and, I'm late. That's what happened. Hello, Kieran. So, today, it's the best and worst of 2017. I don't know which to start with. I think I'm going to start with the positive, because, quite frankly, it's less fun. It's less fun than ripping on shit. We're doing just, the best movies and the best reissue release of an older movie, and best and worst of both of those. And let's fucking get going, shall we? We got trophies to give out. It's going to be fucking exciting. We got honorable and dishonorable mentions. We got a lot to cover. So you guys probably shouldn't be fucking around and let's get on it. Mom. I don't know. So top 5 of each. The top 5. Well, let's save the movies for last. I think we're going to we'll do the honorable mentions. First, let's do the reissue. The best reissue to come out in 2017. I thought it might be hard to pick this, but it was in my brain, there was no other choice. And that prize goes to Scream Factory's Silent Night, Deadly Night limited edition Blu-ray that came with a fucking full-size NECA figure of Billy, the fucking serial killer. Awesome. I am totally kicking myself for not getting one. They retailed for about $60, and they are currently selling on eBay for $150 to $200 or over. And I'm a dumbass, because I constantly look for stuff like that, to invest in. I'll buy a fucking case of those and then sit on them. Not literally, Dimitri. Just sit on them for a while and till the price goes up and they go out of print, and then I resell them on eBay for a fucking profit. My brain, I'm thinking, they're already $60. How much could they possibly go for? 100, maybe, I'll fucking barely make, any money on them. $40 each, Is it worth it? Maybe and sometimes that shit doesn't appreciate at all. And it's a gamble. So I decided to pass because the price was high. But it really wasn't, because it's a fucking NECA figure. It's the only time it's being released. The figures are selling for $100 each. Larry, looking at a fucking asshole right here. Larry, the fucking asshole, didn't fucking get it. And there you go. I don't have any runner-up for best reissue of 2017. There wasn't really that great of a year for reissues, in my opinion. There's been better where I've had a hard time deciding. But we're going to present Scream Factory with this custom award. The best reissue, Monster Movie App best reissue of 2017. Scream Factory, you will be getting this in the mail very soon. Look for it. Moving on. We're going to do honorable mentions 2017. Movies that almost made the list, but not quite. They were really good, but, they fell short of the top 5. We'll start with The Void. The Void was very decisive. People either loved it or hated it. I liked it a lot. I loved the whole vibe, the whole H.P. Lovecraft cult vibe to that movie. The practical effects were amazing. But where it falls short, and the reason that people fucking bag on it, is because the story was a little weak. It was mostly effects and fucking very little story, and people were calling it out. So I'm calling it an honorable mention. Didn't make the top 5, but there you go. The Void. Moving on. Honorable mention 2017 movie Deep in the Woods. Most people probably haven't seen it. It's an Italian film. Great murder mystery. A little fucking twist ending there that you won't see coming. It's a very slow burn, very dramatic. So, it's not going to appeal to everyone, but really well made. Great story. Enjoyed it. Also, honorable mention 2017, a movie called Jasmine. An American movie filmed in Hong Kong. Great fucking, the Hong Kong urban backdrop of that movie was fucking beautiful. It's once again, it won't appeal to a lot of people because there's very little dialogue in it. But very fucking cool. And also, twist ending at the very end. The ending twists, and you won't see it coming. I didn't. Most people won't see it coming. Now, this is controversial. This is a monster movie controversial pick. Some people would say this isn't horror. I say it has horror elements. I'm fucking throwing it in. More sci-fi than horror, but that's, we include those. This is a movie called Man Underground. Very small, micro-budget indie film, mostly drama, very slow burn, but there's a cryptic nature about the storyline. Is he, isn't he, was this true, wasn't it true? Also, it's very emotional, sad, it's a very sad ending. I think, if there was Oscars for fucking movies other than fucking lame fucking musicals and dramas and shit, this would be right in there. It's really fucking good. Quirky. Very quirky, kind of, I don't want to say Napoleon Dynamite, but it's offbeat. There's an offbeat quality to it. It's different. Now, this movie I fucking loved. This was released, it was made a while ago, but released this year on Blu-ray and DVD. I think both. Bad Boy Lover Boy, also an American movie. Wins 2017 honorable mention, if you will. A weird fucking movie. Hard to categorize. The main character is very strange, gross, but you can't take your eyes off of him. And you don't know, is he fucking okay or is he not? It's got comedic elements to it. Some people would call it a black comedy or a dark comedy. I don't know. It's, like I said, it's hard to categorize, but it's fucking the main dude is mesmerizing, and then it just explodes. And, I'm not going to spoil. Honorable mention 2017. I got it out this time. This one very nearly made the list. I only picked 5. I could have done 10, I guess. Hounds of Love, an Australian movie. Aussie horror. A brutal kind of torture, rape, revenge sort of movie. With with, you know, like a little twist in there, a little relationship driven. Everything's not as it seems, is not black and white. Kind of is, but you know, it goes in a direction that you don't usually see. Really well made, super intense, not for the faint of heart. But highly recommended. Honorable mention 2017. Let's see here. Next up, honorable mention 2017 again. The Sleep Curse, a South Korean film. It's a masterpiece. It really is. There's a lot of great films coming out of South Korea. I got this imported, and I had plans of doing importing an Asian movie each month, paying up for it, just so that I could see them. And this was the first one I did, and I was not fucking let down. It was a really good fucking movie. It mixes history. There's it's a period piece part of it, and flashback with science and superstition, and then the ending is just it ends in an awesome way. Also slow burn, not for everybody. I guess those are my movies. Now this movie just a cunt hair away from being in the top 5. Stephen King's 1922. An odd story, supernatural, revenge and guilt driven. But mostly Thomas Jane in the main role, you know, also deserves a horror fucking Oscar because he puts on the podunk fucking turn of the century farmer, and kills it. So check that out just for his performance alone, but it's also a good movie. Honorable mention 2017. I Remember You, an Icelandic film. Kind of a murder mystery, but with supernatural elements. The Icelandic backdrop in this is fucking beautiful, but also just desolate and, foreboding. Really cool story. Twist ending. Again, these are my films, I guess. I'm coming to a fucking realization as I'm reading this list. So I Remember You, Icelandic film. And finally, the last honorable mention of 2017, and the movie is also an Aussie horror, Killing Ground. It's an Aussie hillbilly horror survival movie. Is it super groundbreaking? No. It's kind of all been done before, but there's a little twist in there that's a little different, and definitely worth checking out if you're into that. Brutal, so be forewarned. So, those are the honorable mentions of 2017, which leads us right in every person. Every film will receive the Monster Movie App Honorable Mention 2017 award, which is a collectible baseball case full of mummified frogs. You guys can all look for that in the mail. You'll be receiving that soon. Now, on to the meat. The best 5 of 2017, as picked by old Larry here. Take it for what you will. Larry may not be smart, but I know my fucking horror. Number 5. Transfiguration. Transfiguration's a indie vampire movie, but vampire themed movie in the realm of Martin, though. Very more realistic. Like, is he or is he not? It takes place in a ghetto. Stars a young African American gentleman who's very good. I don't hear anybody talking about this as far as like African Americans starring in movies. This kid kills it. You know, there's a give and take. You can't just ignore shit. So this kid kills it. Dramatic and realistic, very gritty, urban, ghetto. I said a ghetto landscape in this one. It's got an unlikely love story in it. It's kind of a sweet love story. I'm not gonna. There's a girl. She's like, you know, the kid. It ends like a motherfucker. Cool fucking aspect of it. Cool quality. Let's have some coffee, shall we? Cheers. Let's try this. There's a cool quality about it in that Larry Fessenden, the great Larry Fessenden from Glass Eyed Picks, makes a cameo, as well as Lloyd Kaufman. I don't know if that's cool or not. I'm not really a Trauma fan. But it's odd that Lloyd Kaufman is in the fucking movie with a cameo, and this movie is like well made. It's anti Lloyd Kaufman, the opposite. Well made, fucking serious as a fucking heart attack. It's the best vampire movie since Let the Right One In my opinion. Number 5, Larry's number 5 best of 2017. Number 4, the movie Playground. That's right, Playground. It's a Polish film. It just squeaked out. It just slid out. That's like inferring that it's crap. It's fucking awesome. It just squeaked in at the end of 2017. It's a Polish film, I said. Kind of like gritty day in the life following 3 Polish students around. I would say they're probably, 12-ish, something like that. The kids are, just 2 boys and a girl. The 2 guys are kind of fucking troublemaker knuckleheads. They come from kind of a shitty fucking home life. And then the girl's involved. I won't give anything away. But it goes from like uncomfortable and cruel to an ending that will suck the air out of your fucking lungs. Like, you'll just be fucking slack-jawed staring at the fucking screen. I was, and I've seen everything. They didn't give a shit at the end of this movie. They were not fucking there to, make it into theaters. A vicious, insane ending to this movie. It's slow, but it's interesting. Like you're following these kids around, and just you're like, where is this gonna go? And holy shit, you hang in there. It's going fucking far. I mean, crazy. Number 3. This table's covered with spit. Look at that. I must spit a lot when I do this. Number 3. An unlikely entry. The Evil Within. This movie is batshit crazy. I picked it equal parts. It just being a very original, very bizarrely constructed story, combined with like an amazing performance, and on top of that, the backstory of this movie is fucking just mind-blowing. It was made by Andrew Getty, who was a millionaire with a meth problem. He did a lot of fucking meth. It ate away his fucking brain. He started making this movie in 2002. And he was trying to He was trying to like put out on film like one of his fucking reoccurring meth nightmares or something. He worked on it for fucking like 3 years. Spent like all his fucking money. He was broke by the end. He died in 2015 without completing the movie, but his producer that had been there with him the whole time stepped in and finished the fucking editing and stuff and put it out. And it's like you're inside a meth head's fucking nightmare for sure. But on top of that, Frederick Kohler plays a dual role in this. I don't know how. I think he's like an adult, but he's one of those adults that kind of looks young. You might have a fucking problem or something. I don't know. But he does a dual role as a retard, and like I'm not going to mince words. He's retarded, but he also plays like an evil guy. And he does scenes where it's just him looking into the mirror and switching back and forth between those two characters like that. Oscar. I mean, it's insane to watch. It must have been fucking insanely hard. The kid is fucking super talented. And all of that combined is why that is number 3 of the best of 2017, according to Larry and Monster Movie App. Now, this won't come as a surprise. I think it's on everyone's fucking list, which is a deterrent for me. But when it's fucking good, it's good. And that is It Comes at Night. Major off box office release. But, it goes in places that you wouldn't expect for a major blockbuster. I mean, I don't know if it made a lot of money, but it definitely got released in theaters. But just, cryptic in the right way. But, it's some sort of a fucking post-apocalyptic or something is going on. Pandemic of some sort. They don't really go into details, which is like, the cryptic, cool part about it. Just insanely well made. Great fucking acting. And then it explodes at the end with like, humanity versus humanity. And those are the good fucking kind of movies, like it's realistic. If a fucking pandemic came around, it wouldn't be the pandemic that you'd have to worry about. It would be your fucking neighbor trying to shoot you so you can get a fucking Twinkie out of your cabinet. That's why it's good. It's got an air of mystery, like the cryptic nature I was talking about, where you're like, what does the title mean? Like, is he alive? Is he dead? Fucking, is he this? Is he that? It leaves just the perfect amount of questions opened for the intelligent viewer who enjoys thinking about it. And I thought about it for weeks after, still thinking about it, even after I looked it up. I was like, like I was going through it in my head. It's like a fucking puzzle. And I like that. Hey, Noah. Very true, he says. Referring to It Comes at Night being awesome and the number 2 pick of the best of 2017. My number 1 pick. I don't care if you like it. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House was my favorite movie of 2017. Larry is a supernatural guy. This is a very slow-paced ghost story. Also kind of goes back and there's historical elements to it. But mostly it creates a fucking just such a tense feeling of fucking what the fuck is going to happen and when is it going to fucking explode, that like, you know, like I was uncomfortable watching it. It reminded me of elements of like The Changeling, very creepy, and then the ending is amazing. Best ghost story that I've seen in a long time. Directed by Oz Perkins, the son of Anthony Perkins. He's killing it. He had the Blackcoat's Daughter, also in 2017. I didn't like that movie. A lot of people loved it. I didn't hate it, but you know, I wouldn't ever make my list. It was, you know, it was really boring, and I don't know. Yeah, The Changeling is the shit. Is the shit. Oh my God. So there you go. I am the pretty thing that lives in the house. All of these movies will receive the Monster Movie App Best of 2017 trophy. Highly coveted. And check your mail. It's coming, guys. Now, we're going straight into the worst. No, yeah, that's the whole point. I hope somebody out there watches one of these movies and I'll be happy. Let's see. The best. Did I cover all the worst? I mean, did I cover all the best? Yeah, I did. Okay, so we're going straight into the worst, which will be, we'll start with dishonorable mention, 2017. Shit movies that fucking didn't make the list, but they didn't make the top 5, but they sucked enough to get the dishonorable stamp from Monster Movie App of shit sandwich. And those movies are... Where did I put those? One in particular. The Love Witch. I fucking hated that movie. I hated it. It was a movie that I was hitting the remote to see, like, the display on the remote to see how much time was left. Terrible dialogue, bad acting. I wanted to kill myself by the end of it. Exactly, one word review. Shit sandwich. But these movies, the dishonorable mention, did not get a shit sandwich. The Love Witch did not get a shit sandwich because it looked really good. The cinematography and the way it was shot, it had a very authentic vintage vibe to it, where I think you could show it to somebody and they would think like, oh, that's a 60s, 70s movie. And I had to give them props for that. It looked good. The movie sucked, but it looked good. So it got 2 thumbs down, but not the stamp shit sandwich. So I had to include that in dishonorable mention. All dishonorable mention winners will get a partially used roll of toilet paper to clean up your shitty ass and get it back together in 2018. Hopefully you can do that. Hated The Love Witch. Also, people loved that movie. People are like, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't fucking like that movie. I wasn't even close to liking it. I fucking hated it. But it looked good, so I didn't give it a shit sandwich. Dishonorable mention 2017. All of the fucking remakes. Every single one. I didn't see any of them, but they all get a fucking dishonorable mention from Monster Movie App and Larry for 2017. And that includes It, Flatliners, Death Note, and Dementia 13. A lot of people didn't know about that. It was straight to video. Francis Ford Coppola's Dementia 13. It's went straight to video remake. Fuck all you guys. Look for your partially used roll of toilet paper to arrive in the mail. Now, the worst of 2017, according to Monster Movie App. Number 5. Flatliners, one question, why? I mean, I hope you're asking why it was remade, because the fucking original's awesome. Number 5, worst. Sorry, we're moving on to the worst, top 5 worst movies of 2017. Number 5, Rings. A sequel to the Ring movie. The remakes of the awesome Japanese movie, the far superior Japanese movie, Ringu. My God, this movie was terrible. I mean, it wasn't even good for like just a stupid big budget fucking sequel. It was fucking horrendous. It wasn't interesting at all. There was no fucking scares in it to speak of. I saw it at a historic drive-in. It's like a drive-in in my area that's been in operation since the 20s. And even that couldn't save it. I mean, you got the atmosphere, you're in a drive-in, munching fucking popcorn, it's dark outside, creepy, didn't save it at all. I was like, holy fuck, dude. When is this shit gonna be over? Just the worst fucking lame big Hollywood PG-13 cashing in fucking sequel. Awful. I barely could get through it. I wanted to fucking leave. Number 4 of the worst movies of 2017, as according to Larry. That's me. Gotta refuel. Ready, go! Number 4, Red Christmas. Fucking hated this movie. It is a fucking dumpster fire. It stars D. Wallace Stone, or just D. Wallace, from The Howling. And on top of just being a fucking god-awful mess of a movie, it's not so subtly a pro-life propaganda fucking film that you know, like, it wasn't even, they didn't even try to hide it. It was like a movie that was produced by the Trump administration. You're a monster if you think about aborting anything, and you know, like, your fucking retarded fucking aborted fetus will come back to kill you someday. Awful. It's an awful movie, but then you tack on, you know, the fucking pro-life message. Holy fuck. You can go fucking suck it. Everybody from the worst top 5 movies of 2017 will receive a full roll, brand new roll of toilet paper as a reward. Clean up your shit in 2018, and maybe you'll make it on the fucking best of list next time. Okay, number 3. Most people probably haven't seen this. I try to keep, like, my list more mainstream without, like, you know, putting a lot of fucking weirdo stuff out there that, you know, like, I mean, people, like, review sites will put out, like, stuff that's just, like, screeners at film festivals that the general public has no way of fucking seeing. Oh, yeah. No, this is like Cottonelle. This is thick. They're going to need it. They're going to need it. It's fucking thick. Your fingers won't, like, pierce the fucking toilet paper and then, like, you know, inadvertently stick a finger in your shitty ass. It's good. It's good stuff. I only buy the best. You can't cheap on toilet paper. I have ink on my finger. Anyway, they'll receive a brand new roll of that in hopes that they will, clean up their act. So anyway, assholes need cleaning. All these people are assholes, especially the number one movie that I'm about to read. Anti-Human. Anti-Human. My God, number 3 worst movie of 2005. This was just a straight to VOD movie. My God, it was the most pretentious fucking art house style movie. It wasn't even, it was a lot of imagery. Very, like the dialogue that was in there was fucking just like a bunch of chicks like screeching at each other. Terrible sound mix. There was like the most annoying soundtrack that was just kind of like droning out the movie. I could very literally could barely get through it. I have a strict policy. If I'm going to review a movie, I have to watch the whole thing. I'm not going to fucking lie to people. Maybe it fucking gets better at the end. You don't know. You have to give it a shot. So like when I'm reviewing a film, I'm stuck there. I was stuck watching this fucking pretentious piece of crap. Visual fucking imagery, metaphors, crap. Couldn't follow the story. Poorly produced. That was a big spit on my phone right there. I'm not going to touch it. I might shut the phone off. I challenge anyone to sit through Anti-Human. Anti-Human, you will receive a full roll of Cottonelle. They are not a sponsor. I'm just a fan. A full roll of Cottonelle toilet paper to clean up your shit. I don't think 1 year you're going to turn it around, but maybe, in 10 years with the right fucking cleaning supplies, maybe you'll get to the top 5 best. Number 2. I see why I have ink on my fucking fingers. My pen's like leaking here. My God. And you think it's easy to run a horror app? Look what I have to deal with. God damn it. Take a break. We're almost done. Number 2. This is a, I didn't write it down, like a fucking Mexican movie or something. It was just released on like DVD and Blu-ray from fucking Artsploitation or something. We Are the Flesh. A lot of people fucking pretend to love this movie. It's garbage. I can't believe anybody could fucking sit through it and think it's fucking good. Once again, fucking checking the watch, checking the fucking display. When is this piece of shit gonna be over? When can I get the fuck out of here? Another abstract fucking cinematic fucking exploration of sexuality and fucking weirdness that you can't follow. It's full of fucking tits and shit and sex and incest and fucking, you gotta fucking really be like the special kind of douchebag to fucking make that unwatchable. And this filmmaker achieved that. It's terrible, incomprehensible. I can't believe people like it. I have no fucking clue what they're thinking. Now! The number 1 worst movie, everybody, of 2017. As picked by Monster Movie App and old Larry Talbot here. We got our crack staff together. I'll get their prize ready. We got our crack staff together and we sat down and milled through all these fucking films. And universally, it was unanimous. The worst film of 2017, Frankenstein Created Bikers. What a fucking piece of shit. It's like a faux exploitation film that, isn't fooling anybody. It's a sequel to the equally fucking shitty but better. Dear God, No. This one was, the Dear God No was filmed on 16 millimeter, and then Frankenstein Created Bikers is filmed on 35 millimeter because people fucking contributed to a Kickstarter to get this done. Shame on you! I did a week-long review of this movie, including reading off all the Kickstarter's names to shame them. All the Kickstarter backer names, I should say. And it culminated in me blowing the movie up with firecrackers at the end. I got the movie for free and I still felt ripped off. It's not even a good exploitation film. It's like fucking 2 hours and 5 minutes long, and it's fucking boring. It's not like it's over the top and fun. It's fucking terrible and boring, and like you're fucking looking at your watch again. The worst mistake like some crappy fucking exploitation wannabe film could fucking commit. Boring. It should never be boring. You're fast and fucking furious with that fucking movie. All fucking balls to the wall and fucking out. Leave your fucking crowd going, wow, what the fuck was that? This lets you fucking marinate. You're just sitting there while this fucking terrible storyline slowly unfolds. And I wanted to kill myself once again. So there you go. You piece of shit. Frankenstein Created Bikers. Look for your brand new roll of toilet paper in the mail. I know that the meth heads that fucking made this movie in Atlanta can really fucking use it. Because, you know, that shit gives you the squirts. And they'll be through this in like a day. So there's the worst, the best and worst of 2017. As stated by Larry, me. Hi, everybody. The worst reissue. And I hate to say it because I love this company. And they send me their stuff to review. I had high expectations for this. And it was terrible. And that dishonor goes to... We'll get their partially used roll of toilet paper ready. The worst reissue was Death Laid an Egg on Blu-ray from Cult Epics. I thought I was being punked because like I said, they send me their stuff. It's all fucking top notch. They fucking get like obscure movies and release high quality transfers and special features and box sets. They're a quality company. This fucking movie, the transfer had such compression issues. It was just, you know, like fucking pixelated. You didn't even have to pause it to see it. It was just like there always. It looked like a fucking bootleg or a fucking shitty rip from somebody that didn't know what they were doing, and they made like an MP4 from a fucking DVD or something, and they didn't know how to fucking like compress it right. It's fucking was dreadful. I was in shock. The first time it's ever fucking happened to me from Cult Epics. I don't know what happened. I sent them my review and told them it was a piece of shit, and they were just like, what? You know it is. You know it is. I don't even use a fucking television. If I had like a fucking shitty flat screen, I can't even imagine the pixelation of that fucking that transfer. I have a fucking high-def projector. There's no pixels. It's just fucking projected on a screen. It's the best case scenario, and it still looked like shit! That's right. So that's why you get Cult Epics, the worst reissue of 2017, the Monster Movie app coveted, uncoveted, dishonorable award of a partially used roll of toilet paper will be coming into the mail to you. Now, to further leave on a negative note, not only are we doing what we just did, we are gonna talk about disturbing trends that happened in 2017. just, the horror scene in general. Let's see. Noah says best/worst horror movie of all time equals Goblin 2 and Return to Salem's Lot. Yes. Yeah, Return to Salem's Lot. Yeah, that was fucking awful. And I like the main actor from Q the Winged Serpent. What is his name? But yeah, it was terrible. I'd rather. I'm going to say it. I'd rather watch the remake with Rob Lowe. No, maybe not. Anyway, disturbing trends of 2017. Number 1 on the list. Remakes! There was a shitload of remakes last year. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 that I know about, which is that's high. And there's more coming. Fucking 2018, so... everybody that supports those, you're in luck, because you're going to get lots of fucking remakes. That is a disturbing trend for me in 2017. There is enough original fucking content and great indie films that we don't need to go back and remake classics like Rabid. Who's going to do better than fucking Cronenberg, assholes? Who financed that? Go fuck yourselves. A disturbing trend. The decline of physical media. Larry knows. I do a thing on Monster Movie app called This Week in Horror, and I put out all the fucking DVDs and Blu-rays that are coming out that week. And around Christmas time used to be the big fucking year. I would fasten my safety belt, seat belt, or whatever, getting ready for Christmas time, because I would be on my computer fucking downloading pictures and fucking photoshopping all of them, and a massive list of physical media, horror media, coming out around Christmas time so that the consumers can buy it and give it to their loved ones for Christmas. It's the biggest time of year next to Halloween for horror movies leading up to Christmas. And Halloween and Christmas were both fucking shit. There was barely any. It makes my job easier, but I see the writing on the wall. I'm working on next week's. Last week's was fucking pathetic. And I'm working on next week's This Week in Horror. And there's 4 or 5 movies being released when there used to be 20. It would take me fucking hours to get through them. I can see, because of that, I can see that physical media is fucking on its way out, people. Stop watching Netflix. Stop subscribing to Hulu. If you care, if you want to fucking continue to collect stuff, physical media of any kind that's not just old stuff, if you want new stuff to come out, then you're going to need to fucking do it yourself. You're going to need to make your own stand and tell your friends, get rid of your Netflix, man. We're losing fucking Blu-ray sets and fucking all the cool stuff. Noah says, it was pretty good, but part 2 will definitely suck. I will never watch it. Did you buy the Silent Night? I did not buy the Silent Night, Deadly Night Blu-ray. I don't know if you missed that part of the broadcast, but I was saying that I wanted to, but I thought that the price was a little high. I was going to buy a case of them to invest. And, if you're just talking about the Blu-ray, no, I would like to get it, but, I got it on VHS and DVD, multiple DVD copies. I try not to upgrade to Blu-ray unless I don't have it. I'm not replacing all my DVDs with Blu-rays at this point. I like DVD. I like DVD. DVD looks fine. Go read about the, what the eye can fucking pick up on and the distance that you have to be from it to notice the difference between high def and standard def. It's interesting. It may open your eyes a little bit, no pun intended. because, if you're sitting across the room from your TV and at a certain distance, you might as well be watching a DVD because your eye is not physically capable of picking up on that fucking higher resolution. It's true. Look it up. I'm not just fucking talking shit. So the decline of physical media, a disturbing trend in 2017. Pop figures! I've always had a problem with pop figures. They look stupid. And it's disturbing that they're cranking out 50 variants of every fucking one that they release. And they're dumb looking. They're dumb. They're dumb. I said before, I'd rather collect Beanie Babies at this point. They're stupid looking. Collect NECA figures and support those fucking guys because they actually put effort into their shit. It's not, they don't like just create a mold of like a real looking figure and then fucking like squash it down so it's fucking like 3 inches, 4 inches fucking tall. They're dumb. I'm sorry, they're dumb. Disturbing. It's disturbing that that's still a fucking thing in 2017. Disturbing trends. Pay service content. I was just talking about this. Streaming. Everybody's got their hand out to try to get your fucking money for media. Hulu, Netflix, Shudder. It's non-stop. You could spend a fucking fortune each month on top of your cable bill to fucking watch this shit. VOD. If you want to watch VOD. You're putting out like fucking $8 or something just for a fucking movie. Streaming sucks. And it's disturbing that it's fucking like removing physical media. I hate that. I hate that that's happening. I'm not going to fucking subscribe to any of that bullshit. If Netflix brought back their fucking like their rental system where you rent the movie and then drop it in the mail in the envelope and they had like Blu-rays and shit, I would probably subscribe to that if they had a good list. They don't usually. They don't usually have a great fucking list. But do I have this on here? Yes! Let's go right into it. All the fucking streaming only content, horror, drama fucking series and shit like that. Like, you can't, like, unless you're paying up, you're not going to see that shit. I guess you can buy the DVD if it comes out. But, like I said, like, some of that stuff is going to stop coming out on physical media. Then you're going to have to pay Netflix. So, make a stand. If you care, make a stand. Only buy fucking series. Binge watch a fucking Blu-ray box set of a fucking TV show. How about that? You can binge watch those. Another disturbing fucking trend in 2017. Pop culture at horror cons. Horror cons are like a thing of the past. It's all fucking, like bullshit fucking TV stars and like wrestling and fucking Sons of Anarchy and fucking Revenge of the Nerds and fucking shit like that, and they're still calling themselves horror cons. I have no problem with pop culture cons. Just stop fucking calling yourself a horror con if you're gonna be pop culture! It's not fucking hard! You're no longer a horror convention. We need more horror conventions that are just horror. I would like to see, and when I say horror, I'm not talking about trendy fucking guests like Walking Dead and Hannibal and Stranger Things and fucking Bates Motel and shit. Like, real horror. I know that stuff is popular now, but excuse me, I'm getting worked up. It's taken over horror cons, and it's pushing out, like, real fucking horror people. Not TV horror people or streaming horror people. Real horror movie people. Why can't we have indie horror movie cons? Where it's just, like, the dudes from A24 or fucking Glass Eye Pix. And, they bring in fucking their fucking actors and directors and fucking, it's a mix of fucking, like, you can do modern fucking horror and like all the great movies that I mentioned. Bring in fucking Oz Perkins and fucking Andrew Getty. Oh no, he died of meth. Sorry, you can't bring him in. Bring in fucking people from foreign countries, directors and actors, and fucking do a screening / con with new people, new fucking blood in the horror industry. Not like watered down fucking streaming crap. Movies. Legitimate movies. And that's it. I mixed like 4 of those all together. Skills. All you guys, all the fucking disturbing trends. You can have this fucking partially used roll of toilet paper. Hopefully you clean your shitty ass for 2018. It's just going to get worse, though, unfortunately, with the streaming. There will be no physical media. Everything will come out on digital files at best. And probably there will be like little boutique distributors who do, high-end collectible box sets and stuff like Scream Factory does. And that'll be it. And all you fucks watching Netflix and Hulu, you can blame yourselves when that all dries up and you can't buy anything on fucking DVD or Blu-ray. On that cheery note, everyone, Noah and Kieran and Mom, I think maybe, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I'm wrong and 2018 will kick ass. Another thing I wanted to say, I'm gonna stop my exit here and say, as far as a strong list of fucking movies for to pick from, I usually do 10. I had to whittle it down to 5, and then do the honorable mentions. I've spent weeks going through like lists and lists of fucking awesome movies. To try to determine like top 10. And it wasn't there this year. And that's a disturbing trend too. It was not a good year for horror at all. I'm not counting the success of the It remake. Not even a little bit. Because that's just going to encourage more fucking remakes. And, original thought will soon be a fucking thing of the past. We'll just be copying everything that's already been done. Yay! Isn't that fun? So on that cheery note, for reals this time, I'm going to get going. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Tomorrow we'll be back with horror movie finds. I got some cool stuff. The mailman just dropped something off while I was on here. I'm very excited. You'll see it tomorrow at 2. Get the fuck out of my house, everyone, and bye-bye.